Welcome student. Here is the lesson number 3, the Union Executive. The Union Executive here in India, there is a federal structure. So the state and the central government has a different power. They have a different subjects. So these our government is considered as a federal government. It is because of we have a different culture, different language, many languages. There is no country in the world that have this much of languages. Okay, officially we have 18 language. Officially we have 18 language, but unofficially we have more than 50 languages. Okay, there are some languages which do not written also, which we cannot written. They didn't have any written form. So India has a very vast diversity in its population, and to give the representations of each person with his religion, with his right, that Indian prominent leaders at the time of independence adopted this union structure, that is union council, that is federal structure. Okay, here we are going through this federal structure, that is union executive. Let us go through each point of this lesson. This lesson is merely some type of vast lesson. So let us start with the first point, that is structure of the union government. The union government means the central government. Today it is Modi government. It is not considered as a federal government, but it is considered as on the name of the leader. Okay, and this shows the how hold that leader has over this government. So let us start with the reading. Okay. The union government means central government. First point. First, the union government means central government. There should be no confusion in your mind. The union government is made up of the following constituents. So here is the picture of that constituents. The first, at the top we have union government, then president. At one side we have legislature, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and on the other side we have executive council, that is prime minister, council of ministers. Okay. You know that the legislature, executive and judiciary are the three organs of the state, and that they work for the welfare of the people. So it is to be said that we adopted in the constituents that of a welfare government system, and we have the three columns, that is legislature, executive and judiciary. Legislature we have Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. In executive there is a prime minister and his council of ministers, and next is judiciary. It is the separate body it 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 the duty of this judiciary is to check the government and its decision. So here, so there is a balanced power between these three things, and they all check each other. Okay, and the president is the head of the state, that is legislature or executive council. In parliamentary system, the executive is a part of legislature and the responsible to the legislature. When we learn about the executive, it is important for us to understand who are included in executive. So if we know the included institutions in the executive, we can understand the whole system of the federal structure. So let us continue with this reading. What are the constitutional provision relating to executive, and what is the process of policy making for public welfare? India's union executive comprises of the president, prime minister, and the council of ministers. So here is the questions, that is the which institutions comprise in union executive. Then we have these answers: the president, prime minister, and his council of ministers. President, this is the first government body. The president itself is considered as the first citizen of India. Okay, because of that, the whole military gives a salute on the 26th January to 26th January to the president. Okay, according to the provision in the constitutions of India, the president is the supreme head of the state. The office of the president has the highest honor and prestige, and it represents the Republic of India. So India is a republic. Okay, all executive power of the states are vested means handed in the president by the constitutions. The government carries out its functions in the name of the president. However, in reality, the prime minister and the council of ministers run the government. Therefore, the president is the nominal and the constitutional head, whereas the prime minister is the executive head. Elections of the president. So there is a process of appointing the president. Okay, so it is very complicated process. So let us continue with that. The president is indirectly elected by the people of India. So we elected president, but indirectly. Okay, how it is possible? The common people do not vote in the elections to the president. He is elected by directly elected representative. So the representative gives electorate to this president. In this way, we elected indirectly the president of India. The group of this parliamentarian and member of state legislatures is known as electoral college. electoral college. Here is the electoral college. The tenure of president is 5 years. The president contesting in the presidential elections should be an Indian citizen. So these are the eligibility of the president. He should be the age of the Indian citizen whose age should be at least 35 years. The person elected to the positions of the president has to take an oath while accepting the post. According to oath, president bears responsibilities of protecting the constituents and ensuring that the government run as per the constitution. The president governs the accordance the advice given by the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. The responsibility of protecting the constitutions is shouldered by President. If any act of President violates the constitutions, then the Parliament has authority to remove the President. This process is known as a process of impeachment. So here you must read again and again and by heart this point of what is mean by impeachment. Any one house can lay the charge of violations of the constitution and investigations of the charge is carried out by the other house. The resolutions has to be passed by special 2/3 majority of both the houses of the parliament. So it is not easy to remove president from its post. There is a certain way which have to followed by the two houses. After that, when the 2/3 majority voted for removing the president, then only he can removed. Okay, but the parliament has a power to remove the president. So here India accepted this structure of checking each other. Power and functions of president due to the reason that there is a reason that the president is considered as the head of the state, so he has some power and he have to perform some duties. Okay, so let us look at that point. Powers and functions of the president. The Constitution has entrusted the several powers and functions to the president. A few functions are enumerated as follows. So there are some functions. First, the president summons the meeting of parliament. This right has given to the president. Okay, prorogue the sessions of parliament, so he can end the parliament sessions also. Send the message to the both houses, dissolve the parliament after the tenure is over and even before the tenure gets over. The bill passed by the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha must be signed by the president. Without signature, the bill cannot become a law. President appoints the Prime Minister and other ministers on the recommendations of Prime Minister. The President appoints the judges of the Supreme Court and High Court. The President also appoints the Governor of the state's Chief Election Commissioner and the other important officers. The President is the Commander in Chief of the Armed Forces. Decisions regarding the war and peace are made by the President. The President has some judicial power too. For instance, the President has a power to reduce the punishment, grant a respite, or commute a sentence of death, sentence of a person, or a special or in special circumstance grant pardon or reprieve on humanitarian ground. The President has the power to declare the emergency in case of the crisis situation. So here are the crisis situations in the country. So this country experiences the emergency in 1975. At that time, Indira Gandhi resides a puppet on the presidential seat. Okay, that puppet doing all the things, how that much of power that Prime Minister increased in the period of Indira Gandhi, and he is a supremo of India. So these congressmen always says that Indira is India and India is Indira. Okay. National emergency, state emergency, and financial emergency. So these are the powers of president. These are the powers of president. Okay. Next is the Prime Minister and his council. We will look. It is a vast point, so we will stop here. Okay.